Welcome to Beyond the Bounce. I'm your host, Byron Bogar, and joining me today, Legends assistant coach, all right, pardon me if I butcher this, George Galanopoulos.
That's perfect.
All right, welcome to the show, George.
Thanks for having me, appreciate it.
George, why don't you just introduce, let the viewers know a little bit about yourself growing up, where you're from and that type of thing.
Okay, I'm from the Chicagoland area, Buffalo Grove, Illinois. Lived there my entire life, actually. Family still lives there. I went to Indiana University for 4 years, graduated from there. Then I moved to Bakersfield, California, worked in the D-League for a few years, ended up moving out to New Zealand to coach for about 5-6 months, then moved out to Dallas last season to work for the Mavericks, and now I'm here. So.
Okay, was basketball always a passion of yours, even as a kid? Did you play back in the day? Was there any other sports you played as well? Or
yeah, so I played basketball, baseball, and I played football for a season, but my mom wouldn't let me after that. I was a little bit smaller, and I got beat up a little bit.
Gotta listen to mom.
Yeah, that and hockey were very brief in my life. But yeah, basketball was my first passion. I got a basketball hoop from my father when I was about 5-6 years old. So started on the driveway, and I didn't play at a very high level, college or D-League or NBA, but played in high school. And I started coaching in high school when I was about 16, 17 years old. Started coaching younger kids, AAU, 7th, 8th grade, and I found a passion for it. And I loved the NBA at the time as well, so I figured, why not try to pursue something at the highest level?
Now you have a laid-back, hard-working mentality as a coach. What type of player were you, Coach?
I was a hard-working player. Yeah, I really didn't have a choice. Athleticism and size were not on my side at all. So. I needed to be able to handle the ball a little bit as a point guard, and I hung my head on the defensive end.
And that's a great story, because not all coaches or execs necessarily played Division I college basketball or overseas or pro basketball, but I don't think that diminishes your knowledge in the game at all. So you got into coaching in high school, and then that's when you always knew you wanted to maybe pursue coaching?
Yeah. So I just felt that I had a knack for it, and I think when you're trying to pursue something career-wise, a big thing is recognizing your strengths, and I just felt I had a niche for communicating, and I had a passion for basketball. I thought it clicked with me, and I felt that I knew the game, I loved it, and it was a passion of mine. So I figured with those communication skills and my passion for the game and knowledge, that is, as long as I worked hard and pursued it, that I thought that I could make a career out of it. So here we are now.
Now, us being in Texas, it's a big football state. We have a lot of talent in basketball as well, but it's big on its football. How was it? Is the legend of Indiana basketball what they say it is when you get into Indiana and experience it?
It is. They're crazy about it. So basketball there is like what football is here. Football's on a different level here. They don't have thousands of fans at games like they do here, but they're passionate about it. They're crazy about it. They've had a lot of people come out of there. The AAU circuit is big over there, and IU basketball is everything. So that was pretty cool to be there and be a part of that. But there's definitely a passion there for it. So it was kind of cool being at a school where it was not only good education, a lot of fun, but there was a rich basketball tradition too.
Now, you mentioned that you've already been you have some D-League experience as well as overseas coaching experience. How does it feel it was in West Coast, California. How did you feel making that transition here with your first year here with the Legends?
I don't mind it at all. The weather's very similar, to be honest. It's much better than Chicago and Indiana. But no, it's great. I mean, the D-League, it's amazing to see how far the D-League's come from the time that I was there. I think I started in 2011 as an intern for the Jam. So to be there for 3 years, get that experience, and then be out of the D-League for a couple years and to be back, I'm just trying to do my best to bring my experience from there and with the Mavericks to here. And it's been an easy transition. It really has. And I've learned a lot from Coach McKinnon and the other coaches here. And you always learn from the players as well. We got some good guys and high character players. So that's made the experience a lot better as well.
And during your time in your coaching, you've also got to learn a little bit under Rick Carlisle himself. You were a Mavs player development intern. Kind of tell us how that day is, life downtown with the Mavs.
Yeah, so it was my first legitimate experience with an NBA team on a day-to-day basis, and it was amazing. I mean, to learn from a coach like Coach Carlisle, who's known as one of the, if not the best coach in the NBA, and his staff, being able to work directly under Mike Procopio, the director of player development. There's just a lot of bright basketball minds that you're around every single day, and to just be there, be a part of it, be almost a fly on the wall at practice, just watching, observing, and seeing all these different things that happen on a day-to-day basis with a championship level organization. The experience was invaluable, and it directly led to me getting an opportunity here through different avenues, but more than anything, the experience itself, the basketball experience, the life experience, moving to Dallas, working for an NBA team, it was awesome. And
now you mentioned the importance of knowing your strengths. How important is that on the D-League level here? You got so many talented basketball players. They're just really, really close to getting into the NBA, just need to work on a few more things. How important is it for them to focus on their strengths to help them get into either back into the NBA or to the NBA for the first time?
Yeah, so it's very important to focus on your strengths and to not try to do anything that you are not used to doing or that maybe is a weakness of yours. But I also think as a coach it's very important to work on those weaknesses and to turn them into strengths. I saw that when I played when I was younger, that I couldn't handle the ball. Started handling the ball more, doing dribbling drills. I think that's something that directly led to improved skill. And you see it with guys on a day-to-day basis. The guys that come in and work on their games, both their strengths and their weaknesses, you see an improvement. And I think it's one of those things where if you can't do something well, try to stay away from it in the games when you're auditioning, basically, but continue to work on it on a daily basis. And Coach McKinnon always says, if you're working on it during practice, try it in the games. So.
And that being said, we are working on 4 call-ups this season, but we just got news that we're getting a 5th call-up in Manning Harris. How does it feel as a coach getting to see these guys really get the chance to fulfill their dreams, no matter if it's a 10-day contract or whatever it may be? How does it feel as a coach to have a small part in helping those guys achieve their dreams and get into the NBA?
It feels great. I'm so happy for Manny and Quincy and Gary Neal and those guys, Pierre, just to see guys come in every day, work hard, do the right things, be a good teammate, and then get rewarded with a call-up. You're just so happy for that person because you understand that that's the reason they're here. And to reach their goal, whether it's temporarily or permanently, whatever it may be, it's a really good feeling. You're happy for the individual to be a part of it every single day with them. And it's really a testament to those guys and how hard they work and how talented they are, really. And Manny's waited a long time. He's been patient. He's stuck with it. He's stuck with some injuries, and he's gone through a little bit of adversity this year, just like we all have as players, coaches, staff, team. And he's finally getting his opportunity. So I know that he'll take advantage of it, and hopefully it goes further than just 10 days.
Well, that's awesome for him. We're happy for him. What do you think he can bring to the Mavericks offense?
I think he could instantly bring scoring. That's his MO. That's what he does. And he's also a very good defender. He's a good on-ball defender. He's good off-ball. He's very smart.
And he's upped his rebounds this year as well.
Yeah, he's the best rebounding wing in the D-League, and I think that's something that would directly translate to the NBA as well. He goes and gets the basketball, and I think besides the effort to go get it is the knowledge and the nose for the ball that you need to have and awareness on the court, and that's something that Manny has. He's a very smart player, one of the smartest that I've ever been around, and I think that you need a legitimate basketball IQ to play at the next level, and that's what Manny brings along with his individual talents of scoring and defense and et cetera, et cetera.
Now we have a really talented roster here with the Legends. Like I said, this will be our 5th call-up. We're looking for a few more. Are there any other players on the fringe that we could look out for, possibly either this year or next year, to be in the NBA?
Yeah, I mean, we got a handful of players, obviously. We actually just got a player in Steph Lasmy, who's made a very nice career overseas in Europe, and right away he's going to give you 3, 4, 5 blocks a game. It seems like right when he's not in the play, or it doesn't seem like he is. He comes out of nowhere and puts the ball in the second row of the stands. He brings a skill set and a mentality and attitude that I think NBA teams like and they value. So that might be interesting to see moving forward. C.J. Williams is another one that has 3-and-D potential at the NBA level. He's shooting the ball real well this year. Can guard multiple positions, and again, these guys are, besides the skill set that they bring, they're all good teammates. They're good guys. They got good attitudes. A guy that you would want on the team at the end of the bench. So those are just 2 of the guys that I think are not only call-up candidates, but the reason being is because they have a skill set that they can bring, and they're good guys to have on your team as well.
All right. Well, let's change gears a little bit. Why don't you describe to the fans a little bit? You're also our video coordinator as well as being assistant coach. What's a typical game day look like for you?
Game days are actually a lot less hectic than the off days. So, we watch our film. I get in, early in the morning and just kind of go over the film again, especially if it's my scout. I like to just watch more on the team, freshen up for that night. We have shoot around at 11. We do film at 10:30. So the film at that point is done. Mm-hmm. I've already done the prep work and I've done the film. It's ready to go. We watch it. We do the shoot around, work out with guys afterwards, and then actually what we like to do as a staff, since there's not much to do that day, is play pickup.
Yep.
Play pickup basketball.
We've heard about that on the show.
Yeah, there's some good battles that go on out there. I never thought a few years ago that I'd be guarding Charlie Bell.
Well, you know what it is, Coach. Charlie Bell and cats like that. They see all this money flying around the NBA, so they're just getting ready for maybe their comeback.
Hey, if I can get Charlie Bell a 10-day contract in a different way than we're getting these other players,
you succeeded in life.
Absolutely, yeah, I'll be happy for him. I'll be happy with that. But
now you mentioned your individual scout. For those people that don't know about basketball, kind of break down how that is. Head coach assigns different games, different teams to their assistant coaches, where you guys are in charge of the scout. Kind of break that down to the casual.
Yeah. So at the beginning of the year, Coach came to our coaching staff and said that he wanted us to divvy up the scouts. So it was basically up to me to divide up the scouts in between a few of our coaches, specifically Zenon Hamilton and myself, and then a couple other coaches have gotten some scouts as well. So that's the first order of business, and it can be tough because the way the schedule lands, everybody has a certain team. You play those teams multiple times. Mm-hmm. Sometimes your scout might land 2 scouts in a row, and that's tough. You know what I mean? So you're looking for help from other assistants, and everybody's kind of hands-on with all of them helping out. But you're just watching a ton of film on the upcoming opponent. You're watching the previous game that you played against them. Mm-hmm. You're basically just looking at as much as you possibly can to figure out why you won or lost the game and how you can win or avoid a loss for the next game.
Now, is there specific things that coach kind of says, hey, I want you to really concentrate on this player, this play set, or does he break that up game to game, or does he just trust you guys to come up with a complete scouting report?
Well, he trusts us to come up with the personnel and the scouting report for the game, and then he'll go off of that and watch probably their last 2 games. Mm-hmm. So then he has a feel for the team as well, so he's not going in blind. But we put together the personnel and go through with the team, and then coach kind of does his thing and goes over some of the keys to the game and whatnot. But it's what coach is good about is getting together with our coaches and coming up with a collective game plan for what we're doing. So it's kind of the assistant coach that brings it to him, and then he kind of puts the cherry on top type thing.
Well, it's definitely working right now. We want to keep these wins rolling. Now, before we get into small ball, we've collected everybody's top 5 all-time NBA players list.
Okay.
So we need your top 5 NBA greats all-time. Your list.
Okay, my list. First is Michael Jordan, hands down, and not just because I'm coming from Chicago. He's the greatest. Hakeem Olajuwon at center. Power forward Tim Duncan. Small forward Larry Bird, and point guard. A lot of people say Magic. I love John Stockton.
Oh,
John Stockton.
That might be the first John Stockton, but hey.
Yeah, no, I know. I thought
tough.
he could obviously pass the ball. I think he could score better than people give him credit for, and he was an extremely tough defender too.
If he's in a different era, if he's in today's era, does he get a championship?
Does he get a championship?
Any era outside of Michael
Jordan?
I
mean, it depends on what team he's playing for, but I think that his game would translate okay to today's era because there's a lot of scoring point guards out there, and I think that he was a very underrated scorer.
Now, in that hypothetical world, is there a perfect team? What team do you see him fitting well in right now in this day and age of basketball?
Oh, today?
Who can he help to get over that hump?
I mean, I think that he would look good on the Warriors as well. I don't want to say replace Steph with him, but I think he could be kind of the engine that makes one of those high-paced teams go. We'll never know. Obviously.
Yeah, we will never know.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll get a lot of backlash for that comment. People say I'm crazy and I'm stupid, but nobody will ever know.
It's your list.
Yeah, sure, why not? I'm a John Stockton fan. So.
All right. Well, George, that was a great top 5. It is time for small ball here. We're going to get 24 seconds on the shot clock. It's very simple. I think the high score is 5. Just don't get a goose egg, all right? So the key thing is the rebound and not turning it over. So we'll get you a countdown here in 3, 2, and 1. Going with the left-handed style. Ooh, almost. That was a good first shot. Ooh, almost. Air
That
ball
was
to the
bad.
right.
Yep, that was an air ball.
It's all about getting that rebound back up there. Oh, almost. The rim unkind today.
There we go.
There we go. Get the
We
rebound.
keep
You got
going?
10 more seconds, Jim.
Okay, we're gonna get
That's
more
one.
buckets.
You on the board. 5. Ooh, 4, 3, 2.
Buzzer beater.
And 1. Real close shooting, George. Well, Coach, thanks for joining us here on Beyond the Bounce.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us here on Beyond the Bounce, presented by ZTE. Until next time, we'll see you later.